Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today, of course, we'll look at the price of Bitcoin, but a little bit later. Now, I would like to share with you something more interesting in my opinion. If you remember, we were looking at the tweets from Plan B about the global price evolution of Bitcoin based on stock-to-flow ratio analysis, and it's amazing. I would like to encourage you to look at this if you didn't watch it yet. I will leave the link in the top right corner. Long story short, based on this analysis, which is very close to more or less fundamental analysis applied to cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular, the price of Bitcoin after 2020 would be $100,000 and after 2024 it will be $1 million. In my opinion, again, absolutely fantastic analysis. And now he made another one, and here's what he does. He made a chart. On the vertical axis, here's the ratio between the Bitcoin price and the price at the difficulty bottom. Of course, horizontal axis is time and the color scale is the blocks since difficulty bottom. So you can see here that at the very bottom we have some flat region, then we have the first rise and then another flat region over here. The same as here, flat, rise, flat. And then as soon as it turns green, it starts to have parabolic move to the upside. So he speculates that right now we have a very similar situation. It was flat, then we had a rise, and then we are struggling in this another flat region over here. So technically, as soon as we'll reach this green area again, the price will have a parabolic move. Although, of course, it was pretty much parabolic so far, but probably even more parabolic. So he is saying that as soon as we know the number of blocks, and is about like 30,000 blocks, we can roughly estimate the time when it will happen, and it should be at least mid-December. So guys, we still have time to accumulate, and technically when we are looking at all these fluctuations in the price going up and down 10%, 20%, it really looks minor to the thing which is happening after that. Anyways, it's not that far from December, so let's see how it will go. And another data which I would like to share with you from Data. Some time ago he shared this chart with the price of Bitcoin and the vortex indicator. It's actually Z-score vortex indicators by 34 days. It's some kind of version of the vortex indicator which basically shows the direction of the price one or another way. So of course, blue here is going up, red, orange is going down. And the extreme levels are marked by the extreme values of this indicator. So you see, he's pointing out that in previous bull cycle, the bear periods lasted like 3-4 weeks. And now we just entered this area. He made an update though that recently, and this was like yesterday probably, the value of this indicator turned to be minus 0.44. And usually the correction goes to something like 0.6, 0.7, sometimes 1, probably here, or here for example. And basically what he is stating that according to the data, if the same will happen right now, like comparing to the previous bull cycle, will have similar moves on in the price, then it is very likely that we'll see something like $8,500, maybe 8.7, as soon as the vortex will reach this zone. Well, what can I say? In my personal opinion, it might be reasonable in terms of the statistics, but actually if you look at the variation of the vortex indicator values of those dips at the lowest points, then you would see that basically there is no certain zone except maybe this minus 0.65, but it's only 1, 2, 3 touches. There was another one here much higher than this level, and another one here which is much lower, and this one as well. So the distribution is really huge, and basically it just reflects the depth and the length of the correction which you observed with the price. So what I'm trying to say is that indeed, yes, we can reach this level, or we can go much lower, or we can actually stop here and go higher. So there is no statistical proof that we need to go somewhere around here or something like that. Of course, I may be wrong, it's just my personal opinion, not a financial advice, yada yada yada, but we'll see. Speaking about the price, so you see the volume is continuing going lower, and recently this thing happened. Just if you look even at the 1 hour time frame, you will still see this nice wick, nice green candle starting from $9,100 and ending $9,600. And actually people were looking at the history. This is the huge candle directed to the downside. This is like accumulation. You may think that this is the kind of a bear flag, and then when the price is going lower, even from these hourly candles, you may start to be worrying that it actually will go to the lower low according to the TA. And if you zoom in even more, then on the 1 minute time frame you will see that there was a multi-step moves like here, then one more, and the volume before the really bottom was pretty much zero. And then only here at this move people start to panic, start to sell. Of course, when they see such a step function, they decided, okay, probably somewhere around here it's nice to go short because it will be one more leg to the downside. And I guess probably both this move, this accumulation, and all the shorts which were opened during this period were bought by huge players, and the price was moved to the upside. So they had some additional volume before placing the price pretty much at the same level. And moreover, after that we saw a little bit of the positive price action. So all of that tells me, at least again, it's my view on that, but those huge players who are moving the price, trying to tell us, guys, don't try to day trade, don't think that you can outplay us. And indeed, during such a passive market price action, there is almost no volume, there is almost nothing to fight for from the perspective of the huge players, so they try just to shake out all of those who still try to, let's say, play with the leverage and so on. But the good news is that probably these like severe drops are over. Otherwise, as you saw, the order book here was very thin, so why not to move the price already much lower in order to buy at a much better price if the bears already sold at the bigger volume around here, so it would be even easier, so they will not face any resistance from the buyers while moving price to the downside. It would be really reasonable. So they didn't, and this is, in my opinion, another sign to the fact that it's more likely that the price will go higher than lower. In any case, the strategy remains the same: slow accumulation on the way down, and feel happy and proud of yourself if the price will go finally up. Okay guys, that is it for today. I hope it is useful. Thank you for watching.